Hey everybody, I'm Buckwsr. We're putting the do into do-it-yourself, and you're joining me today for part 2 of how to install a rooftop air conditioner on your RV. So we're here with the 1998 Bounder by Fleetwood. In part 1 I showed you how to uninstall the old air conditioner unit and how to get the new unit up on top of the RV. So today we're going to finish up that project. If you didn't catch that first video, put a link to it somewhere right up here and you can check that first part out. Today we're going to complete the project, so thanks for joining me on this video. Let's get going. A lot of that. Yeah, so I found an old can of the Hangs rubber roof coating, and not much left in it. It's probably not in the best shape, but I feel the value in just coating this area, which otherwise I have no way of accessing once the unit is in place. So I'm going to do that real quick, and sure, it's better than doing nothing. I got another video that I mentioned on when we resealed this roof using the Hangs product, which I will link to, or you can find on your own if that would be of interest to you. And out here in the sun, I expect this to dry really quickly, so I'm going to put this on and I want to take a break and have my lunch. And I am sure this will be sufficiently dry by the time I get back. Drop this in place. Well, it's time to set the new unit in place, and it's amazing to me. I'm really glad that I went with a Coleman Mach again, because you can see that they are really designed to be, they're so similar. This is designed to be an exact fit replacement. Just the way that it's built and structured. Hopefully the technology has improved somewhat over 23 years, but really it's, you know, set up so incredibly identical to it. So here's our opening, and set you down right here. I want you to see that what I've observed is I'm sure you can see that it really would appear that, as I look below, that we're going to end up reusing that mounting plate from below, the mounting bolts, and that control box, because those parts are not included with this new unit. But like I said, I think it's an exact replacement. So those parts, this is the same tail, wire tail connector as the other one. mounts, the control box mounts up in there. The posts are there for it to mount on. I think we're going to reuse that hardware, and I guess that's how it's designed. So really all that remains for us to do up here is to carefully lift the unit and set it into place in the opening, which I hope to be able to accomplish. Might be nice if I had a helper out here, but I think I might be able to handle this on my own. Let's give it a shot. Just gonna line it up front, side to side, and then kind of just slide it back. Of course, as you can tell, our 14-inch opening corresponds to this here. So this foam block goes along the perimeter of our opening. And I'll be able to tell from below better if we're exactly lined up. But I think we are pretty close right now. Something like that. So let's go back down and take a look from down there. Okay, so we've got it pretty well situated up there, and I had to make a quick trip out to the hardware store because right up there we got the posts on which to hang the control box here. But previously we had these bolts, wing nut type bolts, so I had to go get some nuts and washers in order to put that up. But I think I'm ready to get the control box back up in place. So I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but I'm going to try to move him back up there. Now, if you are installing this unit, and you don't have a Coleman, you're not replacing a Coleman unit, you may have to buy that control box and that they sell separately to correspond with this new Coleman Mach 15 or whatever it is unit. But in my case, since we're staying Coleman to Coleman, it's not necessary. Alright, our control box is mounted up there, and now I'm going to plug in this connector, which plugs right up like the other one did.
Hi there.
Hi. Okay, so he's up. Now I've got this sensor wire. We need to gently insert the end of the sensor into the coils, into the fins here. And I don't know that I'll be able to show you this too well, but I mean, in fact, I know I can't, but I'm just going to Plug it in there. I gotta set you down. Just like that. All right. So now we're good to go there. Hey everyone, contrary to what I had hoped and stated, I have run into an obstacle here where I realized that this mounting frame from the previous unit is not an exact it's not the same. So the mounting holes for the new unit are here instead of here, and instead of here it's like back here, really at the four corners. Also, the size bolt that was for the previous one is a larger gauge, so it doesn't even thread into the holes. So I was just online looking, and there is a mounting plate that is sold separately for about 40 bucks that would allow me to bolt this properly. But it's really just the frame around the perimeter and you bolt it down. I still will have to figure out then what to do about our ductwork, because I've got a ducted system. All right, I'm here on a workbench and I wanted to show you what I decided to do. You know, even if I bought that mounting frame that corresponds to our air conditioner unit, I would still have to come up with some way to build a platform to support the ductwork, because ours is a ducted system, and a way to separate the return air from the refrigerated cold air. So I really wanted to reuse the existing platform because it already has all of that ductwork and stuff built into it. And what I decided to do is, first of all, I realized that the bolts, the mounting hardware needs to be, on the new unit, 1/4 bolts. The others were thicker than that, 5/16, but these are 1/4. So I went down to the hardware store and picked up some 6-inch 1/4 bolts. That was as long as they had. I kind of wanted to get some 7 inches, but I didn't find them. I have to go to Home Depot if these aren't quite long enough. I also bought a piece of steel, 1/8 inch thick. And so the way it's going to work is I drilled some, and the new mounting pattern is a square 12 3/4 inches apart. So I measured those places and drilled through here on my original mounting frame. So the new bolts will come up through here and engage the fasteners. Hopefully that'll be long enough. And then this, because I had to make this piece of steel and drill the holes 12 3/8 inches apart, so they'll go, I'm actually doing this backwards. They'll be going up, these will be going up this way into the unit. Then this piece will cross over the frame here, and we'll put up our bolts, 1/4 here. Now these might not be long enough. This is where I was hoping to get some 7 inchers. But that's my plan, and this will allow me to not have to buy that other item, and I won't have to come up with devise a way to separate the cold air from the return air, nor to configure my ductwork, because it's all here with the old frame. So let's keep our fingers crossed, and we're going to take it inside and try it out. Okay, so things are coming together. Our little strategy seems to have worked. I've got that new, or the old mounting bracket and frame up there. I haven't tightened it down yet, but the bolts are long enough, and we do have to tighten it so as to compress that foam seal at the top on the roof. Also, I need to, before I put it up for good, I got to build some kind of barrier or wall up in here to separate the return air from the refrigerated air, the conditioned air. And I got to get a little creative about that. But I think this is coming together and it's going to work just fine. Well, one of the remaining steps is to put the cover up on it. One of the easier steps, I'd say. With the stainless steel washers. We'll start first. And there you go. Of course, the other part of the project that no one looks forward to is getting the old unit down, and I'm just going to use the same pallet that I pulled the other one up on, strap it to the pallet, lower it carefully down with the ropes, and I'm sure no one really wants to see that. And then, of course, the only remaining step is to turn the power on and test it out. Yeah, I got to put the trim up inside too, but that's easy stuff. Well, there we go, folks. The air conditioner is running and it's nice and cool in here. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Here's the covers all in place. I was really surprised that I had to sort of had to adapt the plate up in here to accommodate the new unit. I thought it was just going to be a quick, easy in and out. If you don't have, see, we have a ducted system and the ductwork runs in both directions, which made using that original plate really ideal for me. If you don't have a ducted system, you're going to want to get the sealing unit that goes along with the Coleman Mach 15, and they sell that separately. But it worked out pretty good, though we had to get creative. But that's really the essence of do-it-yourself, right? So I don't have one of those fancy digital, you know, temperature, what do you call them? Thermometers, but it's blowing out nice and cool, and I'm really, really happy to have a new unit up there. I hope that helps you with your motorhome projects, and I thank you once again for joining me on this one. Buckwsr saying thank you for joining me, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye. No. Need you just stay back a little bit. Okay, so what it is, Marcus, I've got it tied, strapped to a pallet, and there's 2 ropes. Yep. One for each of us. And we're going to slide it down the ladder.
Okay. We're watching. We're watching.
What?
You got a new ladder? I want to get one. Look, you want to get one? No. I'm going back to the field.
He won't go to the field with me again.
I need
We would have like 4 hours.
here to keep the ladder.
Let's be a little.
What am I doing?
Let's be up in the grass.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta, you're gonna hold this ladder, because otherwise it'll try to kick up on us. You gotta.
I'm gonna drop it on you on purpose.
All right, I'll be right up there,
Hey, Don,
Marcus.
maybe if we get this thing done and stuff, we go out for water ice.
So that was Mark. I want to compete.
Nah, I don't like having fun.
I'm thirsty. Why is Donnie at the bottom? Donnie, that picture
Do
up.
you remember how the ladder flipped up on us before?
I
Okay, so
picked it up, bud.
this
Didn't flip, I picked it up.
the ladder fits right in between these two pieces, so we got to move it to
You don't want Don to get
a
hurt.
little bit.
I won't go.
It's not even close.
Set the edge. Now we're going to grab each of our ropes.
Don,
What?
okay. Because I was going to say, Donnie and I can hold this thing up and you set it in.
That would be epic if it fell on my face.
Don't tempt me. This is burning my hands. I better go hand over hand. Lift it. There you go.
Okay, grab the side.
That's it.
It's down.
I know for a
Can you
fact.
sell it?
I know for a fact Marcus wanted to drop it on my foot.
I am.
did.
Just pull the bottom of it out a little bit so it doesn't like fall over. That's it.
Watch your
Fine,
toes.
it's fine. He didn't say flip it.
Let's just leave it right there. I'll come down and we'll
Jump down.
Good job, guys. No.
get the hands. Let's go down this ladder over here because this one's.
Stop.